How to tackle SEAG comprehension questions. Specific tips to tackle this sort of question. We're going to look at retrieval questions, extracting information from the text, vocab questions, finding words of similar meaning, inference questions, reading between the lines, and language choice questions. So that's your parts of speech and your imagery. Multiple choice questions make up a large proportion of the SEAG comprehension test. The key to starting multiple choice questions is really that you shouldn't just look for the right answer. You want to rule out the wrong answers, leaving you with a few options and narrows your choice down and your chances. Which phrase in the passage tells us that Amy has a cold manner about her? We're going to look at these phrases and think about what that means. Cold manner could mean unfriendly or standoffish. Mind of her manners doesn't really tell us about what sort of manner she has. The most important person doesn't tell us about her manner. A regular snow maiden. Snow suggests cold, so that could be an option. Expression, which was seldom disturbed, doesn't really tell us anything about her manner. Little Miss Tranquility. Well, tranquility means peaceful. Mind your manners we can score out. Most important person, expression, which has been disturbed, and Little Miss Tranquility. The regular snow queen is the correct answer. We're on to retrieval questions. Retrieval is finding information from the text. You should skim the text to find out where this idea is going to be located. What paragraph is it going to be in? What does Meg wish to get her mother for Christmas? You're skimming through to find out where they're talking about getting Christmas presents, and then you're scanning for keywords. If we're skimming through, we find the word Meg announced. Meg is a keyword. As the idea was suggested by the sight of her own pretty hands, I shall give her a nice pair of gloves. That is their answer, a nice pair of gloves. We've skimmed through the paragraphs to find the information about Christmas presents, and then we've scanned for keywords from the question to help us work out exactly what the answer is. That is a basic and easy way to work out retrieval questions. These are words that mean the same as. We're finding a word that could replace the word calmness, and it's in lines 16 to 19. So we're finding a word that we could replace with calmness. Let's see, 16, a shy manner, a calmness manner, that doesn't work. A timid voice, a calmness voice, that doesn't work. A peaceful expression, a calmness expression, that doesn't work. Let's continue on. Her father called her Little Miss Tranquility. Tranquility is an interesting word. Could we replace tranquility with calmness? Little Miss Calmness. Tranquility means calmness. The answer to this is tranquility. Let's have a look at inference questions now. These are probably some of the trickiest questions that you will get in the SEAG text. So they're really about reading through the lines. You're looking for clues about characters, word choices, how someone feels. So based on your reading of lines 32 to 50, what sort of character is Beth? So we can find out from the text that Beth wants to buy her mother a Christmas present and not get anything for ourselves. It tells us a little bit about her character. And then down here, it also talks about Meg saying that she used to be frightened. Beth, we're talking about Beth, used to be frightened when she was the center of attention. She's not bossy. She's not a selfish person. She wants to buy her mother a Christmas present. She's not fearless because she does get frightened sometimes. But she is selfless. She wants to buy her a Christmas present. She's not rude. We're ruling things out. We're on to language. There's a noun, a verb, an adjective, an adverb. What type of imagery is the author using? These are the types of language questions that you get. This question is which part of speech is comical as it appears in the passage, and it says line 11. We've got a comical nose. Nose, that's a thing, which is a noun. And comical is describing the nose. Describing words are called adjectives. The answer to that one is adjective. When your child gets a question that says which part of speech, they should immediately know noun, verb, adjective, or adverb. How do we build comprehension confidence? We learn the skills to help us get through the SEAG test. Manage your time. That's a really important thing that you should do in the SEAG test. Stick to your rough time limit of 1 or 2 minutes per question. And if you get stuck, move on to the next question. You hopefully will have time at the end to come back to it. Read the question really carefully underline keywords, dates, places, etc. that might be helpful whenever you're looking at the questions. If they're already underlined, you can come back to them really quickly. Thanks for listening to our video today. I hope that that has helped. We do have a comprehension resource which you can purchase, which goes through all of these skills. Transfer test comprehension is available on our website to buy. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop me an email at lisburntuition.com, or you can contact me on social media. Thank you.